Prince William celebrated his wife Kate's work with young children today as he joined a conference to help end homelessness. The Prince of Wales agreed to selfies from well-wishers and hailed a former rough sleeper who had turned his life round as brave for telling his story. William, 41, joined a Homewards Sheffield local coalition meeting at the Millennium Gallery in the South Yorkshire city to discuss ways to end homelessness. When the topic of childhood was raised by Sheffield City Council Chief Executive Kate Josephs, William immediately remarked about the success of Kate's early years projects. Holding his palms out and smiling, he said, "Venturing into my wife's territory here. She needs to be sat here to hear this." Earlier in the day, well-wisher Peter Brownlee, 61, told him that he was a huge fan of the royal family and had sent the Princess of Wales a get-well-soon card. William replied, "You really are very kind." It comes as Kate's recovery from surgery appears to be progressing after footage obtained by The Sun showed her and William at the Windsor Farm Shop on Saturday. The princess can be seen with her hair down, wearing a black jacket and leggings, chatting with her husband and looking happy and relaxed according to an observer. Today, the prince arrived in Sheffield city centre by car and walked through the Winter Garden, an urban glasshouse. Lee Stinchcombe, 33, grabbed William for a selfie and said afterwards he was a big fan of the prince. William held Lay's coffee mug and helped work the phone before patting him gently on the shoulder and shaking hands. Sitting in the Millennium Gallery's conference space with the coalition, William heard from project worker Chris Linham, 41, who described how he had turned his life around after he ended up homeless then in jail 7 years ago. William said, "I want to say how brave you are to be here telling your story. It's amazing where you are." The prince asked his aides to get Mr. Linham's contact details so they could stay in touch. William also asked the experts for their opinions about the extent of family homelessness in the city of Sheffield and impact of drug addiction on leading to rough sleeping. He also discussed how early intervention can turn around lives and asked Mr. Linham to explain during his journey the moments when people stepped in to help. Looking animated, William said, "You guys know this better than I do, but there is no one size or one solution that fits all. I see it almost as an umbrella and all your ideas, wisdom and experiences together, and we can mix around and produce something." Two members of the coalition grabbed William after he left the room to bend his ear about their ideas for stopping homelessness. Mr. Linham, who also served in the Navy and spent time in jail for crimes including arson and burglary, said afterwards, "He was a nice man and really listened. I liked him." The prince was in Sheffield this morning to unveil major commitments to his Homewards initiative, to end the scourge of homeless in the UK. Family homeliness has been an increasing issue in recent years for the city, which was announced as one of the 6 flagship homewards locations where William and his team are working to eradicate the issue within the next 5 years. His approach, bringing key players in the field together, from home builders to landlords, local councils, charities to those with lived experience of the problem, was praised by Scott Black, COO of housebuilder Places for People, one of the country's biggest landlords, who has pledged 5 homes for homeless families in Sheffield. Mr. Black told him, "Your convening power and your vision, together with our collective resources around the table and our experience in what we do, we believe we can end homeless in Sheffield for good." Thank you for being the catalyst for that change and the opportunity for us to do our past. Your Royal Highness, coming together we can do so much more. We can deliver much needed, more affordable house, particularly for homeless families here in Sheffield. I am absolutely convinced it is possible. And also to provide more wraparound services that are so desperately needed so that we can break that generational cycle for the most vulnerable in society. "No, thank you," said William. "I appreciate that, but this has been a team effort. It's the only way it's going to work. This is the start of the journey, this is just the beginning." "I am excited you are all sat round the table and are here." William's pledge of end homeless in the UK is one of his biggest personal passions and something he had pledged his commitment to for life. Today he unveiled a link-up with DIY giant Homebase, which has pledged a major investment of £1 million to support homewards in furnishing and decorating new house and projects. In a second major initiative, William revealed that local Sheffield landlords have committed to provide 31 homes as a start for families at risk of, or experiencing, homeless in the city. Damien McLaughlin, chief executive of Homebase, told the Prince, "I personally feel very strongly our products can help here. My pledge is that we want to support Homewards with £1 million over the next 5 years for starter kits for people that are going to be using them, the new housing." Bricks and mortar is just one part of it, but it's what is inside the homes too, bringing them to life in terms of well-being and being a safe haven. I feel really passionate about this. The more people doing this together, the more companies, the more partnerships, will really get this movement going. My team really cares about this. William also spoke to the executive director of Sheffield City Council, Ajman Ali, and expressed his sympathy that they, like councils up and down the country, were dealing with one crisis after another, without the opportunity to look up and plan solutions further down the line which stop people becoming homeless in the first place. Mr. Ali agreed that umbrella organizations such as Homewards would be invaluable in enabling them to do that and ensure that people did not become homeless in the first place. The Prince also asked one long-term landlord who has always been willing to work with the homeless, "What's the long-term risks? Why are some landlords reluctant to get along with this? What are the challenges for them? Vicky Keyworth, director of Let's Move, explained that the gap between rent being due and house benefit or other credits being paid can result in gaps of 4 or 5 months in them being paid, which adds to the reluctance of renting to those in need of social housing.